Just when we were all starting to forget about Neta Auto, it suddenly showed up in Costa Rica, making it into the top 10 imported electric vehicle brands in 2025. So here is the question: how did these discontinued cars, the ones nobody really wants in China anymore, manage to come back to life overseas? To understand that, we need to start with a small country in Central America, Costa Rica. The name Costa Rica literally means rich coast, and it really lives up to that name. It's a country full of natural beauty with a population of just over 5 million people. Its GDP per capita is close to $18,000, which makes it relatively wealthy compared to other countries in Latin America. But here is something very interesting. Costa Rica is the first country in the world to abolish its military, and even though it is in a region that often feels unstable, people there live quite peacefully. Most families own at least one car, and many own more than one. Traditionally, the car market has been dominated by Japanese, American, and European brands. You will see Toyota and Honda almost everywhere on the streets. But in recent years, something new has started to appear: Chinese electric vehicles. And actually, Costa Rica is just a small example of what is happening across Latin America. Last year, total electric vehicle sales in Latin America reached around 185,000 units. That is still far behind China, Europe, and the United States. But the growth is very fast, increasing by 35% compared to the previous year. If you look at total sales, Brazil is the largest electric vehicle market in the region, followed by Mexico and Colombia. But if you look at the adoption rate, Costa Rica and Uruguay are leading. Now in 2025, Costa Rica imported more than 70,000 vehicles, and over 10,000 of them were electric. That means 1 out of every 5 cars is electric, giving electric vehicles a market share of around 18%. That used to be the highest in Latin America until Uruguay recently moved ahead. And behind all of this, Chinese brands are playing a bigger and bigger role. Companies like BYD, Geely, Dongfeng, Chery, and XPeng are all expanding quickly across the region. Here is a fun detail. There is a popular name in Costa Rica. Whenever someone spots a classic Volkswagen Beetle, they shout, "I saw it first," and celebrate. But now that game has a new version. Instead of spotting Beetles, people are spotting electric vehicles. And honestly, this change comes down to just 2 simple reasons. The first reason is simple. Government policy is fully supporting electric vehicles. Back in 2018, Costa Rica set a goal to reach net zero emissions by 2050. To make that happen, the government introduced strong tax incentives. If you buy a lower-priced electric vehicle, you do not pay sales tax, import duty, or purchase tax. Even the road tax for the first 5 years is completely waived. Now compare that to gasoline cars. They are hit with a total tax rate between 53% and 79%. So what does that mean in real life? It means an electric vehicle can end up costing 30 to 50% less than a similar gasoline car. Let me give you a real example. An XPeng G3i owner in Costa Rica named Oscar shared his experience. He used to drive a Hyundai Tucson, and the total cost was close to $60,000. Now he switched to an XPeng G3i, and it cost him less than $40,000. Same budget, completely different outcome. If he stayed with a gasoline car, he could only afford a basic entry-level model. But with an electric vehicle, not only does he get more features, he also saves a lot on fuel. With this kind of policy support, the growth has been insane. Electric vehicle imports in Costa Rica jumped from 611 units in 2020 to over 10,000 units in 2025. That is a 159 times increase in just 5 years. And right in the middle of this wave are Chinese electric vehicles. In 2025, 80 out of the top 10 imported EV brands in Costa Rica are Chinese. And when it comes to the top 10 EV models, 9 of them are from China. And it's not just Neta. Many models that have already been discontinued in China, like the XPeng G3i, are still very popular there. The head of the local EV Importers Association put it very clearly. The main reason is simple: extremely competitive pricing combined with advanced technology. Oscar also showed us a local EV price comparison website. When you filter for cars under $20,000, almost every option is Chinese. Models from BYD and Geely, like the BYD Seagull and the Geely EX5, are usually priced between $20,000 and $30,000. Meanwhile, similar cars from other countries either are not available in this market or they start at over $40,000. And that is exactly why Chinese electric vehicles now hold 77% of the EV market in Costa Rica. So now you might be wondering, why are these older, phased-out models still so popular? The answer comes down to how people actually use their cars. San Jose, the capital of Costa Rica, is one of the most congested cities in the world. Most people drive only short distances every day, usually just a few dozen kilometers. So their needs are very simple. They do not need off-road capability. They do not need long-distance range. They just want something affordable, easy to drive and easy to park. Because of that, many families have two cars. One gasoline car for mountain roads or longer trips and one electric car for city driving. Charging is also very simple. Just plug it in at home overnight. And this is exactly where those high-value discontinued EVs come in. Models like the Neta U and Neta V fit perfectly into this role as a second household car. Now at this point, you might be thinking, what about maintenance? If there is no official after-sales support, are people not worried? Surprisingly, not at all. We were actually quite surprised at first too. But after looking into it, we realized that for people in Costa Rica, official service is not a must. The third-party repair market is extremely well developed. In San Jose and nearby cities, repair shops are everywhere. You have small independent garages and also professional service chains, similar to what you might see in other countries, but at much lower prices than official dealerships. Oscar, for example, often goes to a place called Auto Pits. It has been operating for over 20 years. They handle everything: tires, batteries, oil, spare parts, all in one place. And they work with well-known brands like Michelin and Shell. So in most markets, not having official after-sales support would be a huge problem. But in Costa Rica, this gap is easily filled by a strong third-party service network. Whether the car has an official warranty or not, people simply do not care that much. What really matters to them is who sold them the car, not who made it.
La experiencia ha sido muy buena, la verdad. Nunca pensé yo, sinceramente, pues estrenar carro, pero gracias a AutoStar, Andes Motor.
In fact, many owners do not even know that some of these models have already disappeared from the original markets. And that is exactly why a brand like Neta Auto, which has almost faded away elsewhere, can still rank among the top 10 imported EV brands in Costa Rica. So, it is not that these discontinued cars have come back to life, it's that they have found the perfect place to survive. And this also makes me think about NIO, which officially announced its entry into Costa Rica in March. NIO built its reputation on a premium brand image and strong customer service. But in a market like this, where even discontinued cars are circulating and doing well, how is NIO going to survive? Some people like to call Costa Rica the Novi of Latin America when it comes to electric vehicles. But honestly, that comparison is a bit too optimistic. Costa Rica does not really have the same level of commitment or infrastructure as Norway. Just look at charging. As of February 2026, the whole country has only a little over 300 charging stations, and fast chargers are extremely rare. But it gets even more frustrating. The charging connectors are not standardized. You have American standard, European standard, and Chinese standard all mixed together. Every time you go to charge, it feels like a guessing game. And there is another unusual rule. Only the state-owned electricity company is allowed to sell electricity. So even if shopping malls or restaurants want to offer charging, they can only provide free slow charging. The moment they try to charge money, it becomes illegal. So in my view, Costa Rica is not exactly a green paradise. It feels more like a frontier market held together by affordability and Chinese electric vehicles. Whether this place turns out to be an oasis or just a temporary boom, we will only know when the momentum slows down. In just a few years, we have already seen very different strategies from Chinese EV brands going global. Some brands are focused on refining their technology, taking their time to perfect their products. Some are investing heavily in building factories and bringing their supply chains into local markets. And then there are others who are simply riding the wave, taking advantage of policy support to export excess inventory overseas. When the wind is strong, anyone can rise. But when the wind stops, the real question is, who will still be standing? In the end, the market and time will give us the answer.